everyone, it's me Jen from EmJustLikeYou, and today I have a review for you guys and I'm excited to share it with you. It is on the Real Techniques Bold Metal Collection. Now you guys already know I'm a huge fan of Real Techniques brushes. I have the original, the NYX picks, every single brush that they actually came out with, and I love almost every single one of them. So of course when they came out with a more luxurious collection, which is the Bold Metals one, I needed to have my hands on it. And so of course I've been using it for a month, and I think about a month or a month and a half now, and I have finally sat down and thought about it and said, you know what, I am able to do a review for you guys that is very thorough and in-depth. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So first of all, I want to start out with the packaging. The packaging is really gorgeous. I really like this rose gold and kind of like these gold type of colors. It's very luxurious feeling as well. I feel like the material on it seems pretty well made. The only thing I must say is that when I first got these in the mail, I purchased them myself, and I did notice that there was already a whole bunch of scratches on the particular barrel itself. So of course I'll show you that in a close-up shot. But that part kind of was a disappointment just because they're brand new and they do cost a little bit more than the originals. So I was expecting it to be just perfect. What I did notice that when I did remove it out of the packaging, there was a type of tape around it to help the brush from staying inside the packaging. It won't flop around and mess up the brush and the hair bristles. So that was a good thing. But I was so afraid that when I would remove the tape, it would leave this nasty residue, and you know what I'm talking about when you try to remove any type of price stickers on your shoes or on any items that you buy. But really great about this product is that the tape wasn't actually that typical tape. It was like that easy to remove one. So I absolutely love that. It didn't leave any residue, so my brushes are nice. It's also really nice that it's actually weighted. So when you use it to apply any of your makeup, it has this weight on this end. It helps you to use the brush and apply your makeup on flawlessly. I really think it was a genius idea to add the weight. I think that is gives it that luxury feel, but it also helps with application wise. Packaging is very cute, especially when you're displaying it on your vanity. It really definitely stands out against all other brushes. So let's just go straight into each brush that they have. I have the complete collection here. So I'm going to start out with the gold one. The first one I'm going to talk about is the 100 Arch Powder Brush. Very soft. It doesn't feel synthetic whatsoever, and I did notice some shedding, which was a little bit of a disappointment because all the other original Real Technique brushes does not shed at all. So that was a little bit of a disappointment, but the shedding didn't bother me because it was just like one or two. It wasn't like massively like other brands like Sigma. So I really do like the quality. It's very soft. It's very tapered, and it has kind of like a rounded, almost ovally shape, which I think is great so that you can actually go into certain areas that you need. This is definitely a big brush. So against my face, as you can see, it's a very big brush. So you're going to just need to use this for like setting the powder, like setting your makeup, but I really cannot see you using this as a contour or anything else. I think this is great to just blend out, but if you already have big brushes, I don't think this is a spectacular one where you absolutely need it. There isn't anything that special about it. I do notice that it is very tapered, so it really helps pack in that powder, and after it packs in that powder, you can really use it to set the powder without having it kind of just flying everywhere. But overall, I think it is a nice brush, but it's not on the top of my list to must have. So the next one is the 101 Triangle Foundation Brush. The concept is phenomenal. I really like what they did here. The triangle shape really does help you hold the brush. You can really hold it up high, and that way you get a little bit more control. I do like the shape because of the triangular shape. You actually can go into the crevices of your nose easily. And I always find that that's always a big problem when I use any other buffing brushes. The rounder it is, it's easy to blend, but on your nose area, I always feel like I have to kind of stretch my nose to the side and really get in there to buff it in. But with this, it's so much easier. The only thing I do have to say about this brush is that the feeling of this brush against this one right here, this bristle is a lot tougher and it's a lot more synthetic. Like, it honestly feels like plastic, and I really don't like that. I really didn't feel like I could use this with powder if I needed to. If you are wanting to use this to set your powders in your nose area or any little places, I don't think this is going to work. It's so synthetic, it doesn't pick up the powders very well. The only thing is, because it's so plasticky and so separated and it's not so soft, I do notice that when I use the liquid foundation, it does show streakiness. So I kind of have to go in X motions in order to kind of get it to blend, but it still is a little bit streaky. I kind of don't know if I like this one very much, just because I find that it doesn't help the foundation look good on the skin. So this would be a pass for me. So next we're going to talk about the rose gold ones. So these two right here, these are the two that I was most excited about. I really love rose gold and I really like these shapes because there's these type of brushes I don't have in my collection. The first one right here is number 300 and it is the Tapered Blush brush. And to be honest, I don't really use this for blush. I've tried it, like it's so dense and not fluffy. It was really hard to apply the blush. Whenever I apply the blush, I felt like I couldn't blend it out. It kind of just placed the blush, boom, right there, and it was hard to kind of blend it out. Because it's so tapered, it picked up the product very well, so it picked up a lot of it, and then when I applied it, I have to kind of tap it around. Instead of having to sweep it, it would kind of remove some of the foundation or the powder I use underneath because of the density. So I don't use it for blush, but I do use it for powder, and I absolutely love it. Now, out of the whole collection, I find that this one in particular is very unique, different from anything from all the other Real Technique brushes, and it is something that is a must-have in my opinion. And the reason why is because I can actually pick up a lot of powder product and then I can use it to set. And I find that because of the shape, because of the size, it's perfect to set your makeup. So I do have to say the make of these brushes are not as high quality as the original, even though the price is a little bit more and it is a luxurious type of line from Real Techniques. I noticed that there are stray hairs around and a lot of them do shed, and the cut isn't very perfected like the other ones. And of course, I'm not expecting it to be perfect for the price that I'm paying at the drugstore, but I do like to compare it to the originals, which I absolutely love. So for the next one is the 301 brush. This is the flat top contour brush. And I was most excited to try this one out just because I have nothing like this. I know a lot of people out there love the Zoeva one. And I'm gonna try that one out soon, but I wanted to try this one since I already love Real Techniques. So when I tried this, when I first got this, I felt like, wow, this is very similar to my Sigma flat top or round top kabukis, and it is. It's so similar to it. It's very, very dense. Now, that is a good thing and a bad thing in my opinion. Now, for contouring, I don't think this is a good brush for it. It's so dense that when you apply the powder product, it just kind of just goes on there and it's like boom in your face, very, very intense. And then when you try to blend it out with this brush, you can't. Because once you do that, everything on the bottom that you already placed, your foundation, your concealer, is gonna be moved. And the product that you just place on there, it's so hard to blend because it's so dense. Now I'm talking about powder products, but I find that these two right here from the original collection is so much better for contouring. This one is from the this is from the NYX Picks collection. I really love this one. It's similar to the Expert brush from the original collection, but it has a lot more give and it's less dense, so it's so much easier to blend out your contour and your bronzer. So definitely check this one out if you're looking for a really great one, and it's a lot more affordable than this one right here. But on the other hand, I absolutely love it with my Tom Ford and my Chanel Universal cream bronzers. I just apply it and blend it in and it's great. But honestly, I can use that with any other foundation buffing brush. So this isn't something that I think is that spectacular. I was very disappointed. I think this could have been a little bit better if they were to actually make it a little bit more fluffy and a little bit easier to blend rather than being it so compact and so dense. Alright, so moving on to the silver collection. These are just eyeshadow brushes. These are not face brushes, but that doesn't mean you have to just go based on what it is. So the first one I have here is number 200, and this is the oval shadow brush. This oval shadow brush is very, very big. As you can see, compared to my eye shape and to my face, it's it's practically a really big one. I like to use this with my cream eyeshadows. I think this is great to lay the eyeshadow on and blend it out. But to be honest, once again, it's so tapered and fluffy. I thought it was going to be great for blending, but again, with powder, it kind of just takes away a lot of the product. I find it better to use for your concealer. I like to put on my concealer and lay this on top to blend it out, and it works a lot better that way. Alright, so the next brush is their eyeliner angled brush, and this is number 202. You know how a lot of eyeliner brushes are really great to use for your eyebrows as well? This is actually one that I think can only work well as an eyeliner one. This is not very dense, it's very thin, and I find it to work pretty well with gel liners, but it doesn't work well with eyeshadow because it doesn't pick up as much. Now I wish out of all the collection, since everything else is so tapered and dense, I wish this was a little bit more dense, because then that way you can use it with eyeshadow and you can use it for your brows. But because this is very thin and fine, I think it's much better for eyeliner. Alright, and for the last brush, this is number 201, and this is the pointed crease brush. I find that this one's kind of similar to the deluxe crease brush, but this has a little bit of a pointed top to it. I do love this for concealer once again, but I don't like it for eyeshadow. I find that because it's so dense, it's a little bit hard to blend once again. This is kind of like that same consistency throughout the whole entire line. It's very hard to blend. There isn't a flexibility to the bristles. It's kind of too compact and too dense. So it's a little bit harder, but I do find it great to smudge out eyeshadows on the bottom lid, concealer. If you don't have the deluxe crease brush, I do think that this is a great alternative, and again, it's a really nice luxurious one. So that one I think is also a great one to have. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this review. I was trying to be very honest with my opinion. I had really high expectations just because I really absolutely loved the original collection. So I do think these are very affordable and great brushes to buy. I just think that I was a little bit more picky, a little bit more particular, because I do have high expectation comparing it to the original collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!